Colleagues, stayed quiet on this most of the day, but I know that we've been debating this topic for some time now. I've expressed my concerns in several remonstrances during committee. I've expressed my concerns on this bill. I won't be speaking to you about the burden I believe this places on our seniors, entry-level workers, the benefits cliff, our low-wage earners, what they're going to face, the harm it will do to our small businesses and job creators in Oregon, which I know personally that have called me and contacted me and telling me how it's going to affect them. I'm not going to go into the detail how the McMinnville Chamber and Yamhill County Commissioners oppose this policy, as do many businesses in my district. Honestly, all of these points have been made by many of you here today.
Representative, to the motion. To the motion.
So to my motion, I want to speak on the honor of this institution, colleagues. The honor of this institution right here. Nobody can turn on a TV or read the emails sent to our offices without noticing the anger and angst citizens are feeling towards their government and the process in which we operate. No thanks to our federal government and some of the stuff that we do here. We at the state level can change the attitude that many have for the federal government by being responsive right here to their needs and encouraging their civic participation. We passed some bills that, Madam Speaker, you were chief co-sponsor on, and they were House Bill 2019, 2020, and Senate Bill 9 last session to help restore people's trust in their state government in the wake of some great scandals that were happening in this building. By moving Senate Bill 1532 back to the Joint Committee on Ways and Means, we can assure the citizens of Oregon that despite their personal views, we pushed this bill through the full vetting process. That we worked this bill the way any other bill would work through this chamber and not rushed and skipping and taking shortcuts to push an agenda. Madam Speaker, the reason this motion is so important is because there are rumors flowing and scandals running around after we just got through with the situation with the governor who had to step down. And just today, while we're on the floor, there's news articles coming out. Let me just read this to you. On Monday, Brown's campaign reported a $75,000 contribution from the Labor Political League, a Washington, D.C. group that doesn't frequently...
Representative, that's not germane to the motion.
Yes, it is. It's about this institution. It is very germane to the reason we need to do this through the proper
Representative,
channels.
I'm asking you to change the topic. That is not germane to your motion. Speak to your motion, please.
My motion to move this back to the Joint Committee on Ways and Means is because, as we heard from the representative before, that these bills coming through, some of them didn't even have fiscals. I had a bill for a task force that couldn't even get out of committee and go to Ways and Means because there was a cost to it. Yet this one, we see cost established to it, and it's being forced through, and we're doing a dishonor to this building when we skip steps. When we have reporters reporting on things about contributions and things like that, and we're skipping a step. We owe this to the institution to send it back to Ways and Means so we can get it right. It'll go to Ways and Means and it's going to pass out of there in no time at all. But at least it says we did our due diligence. We did what we're supposed to. Then we don't have to look at articles that are being published, people walking around the building saying there's been $175,000 spent to just rush this bill through in this short session. We need to send it to Ways and Means so we can protect our governor's office. We don't need any more scandals. We just dealt with scandals. Madam Speaker, you know as well as anybody, with those bills that you sponsored, this is about restoring honesty and integrity to this building. We heard the numbers. Everybody's asking, why didn't it go to Ways and Means? All of our county commissioners, everybody is coming in saying this is going to cost them. We see that there are expenses to it. We have all these indeterminate calls on this bill. These are not hypothetical things that are just thrown out. We're not hypothetically bringing up these numbers. These are facts. These are reality, colleagues.
Representative Barreto yields his time. Please continue.
We owe the citizens of Oregon the opportunity to fully vet this bill the way we're supposed to. It's sad that we've been here these last two sessions and everything that's happened, and now we're under this microscope because of some bad behavior. Last full session, we brought bills on government ethics and changing things and doing things better. Colleagues, the citizens of Oregon deserve better. Every one of us on this floor deserves better. We owe our constituents more. We should be better. Colleagues, just to squelch and put away all the angst that's going on so we can get rid of articles that are being published in the paper. Let's do what's right. Let's send this to Ways and Means. Let them do their due diligence. Bring it right back to this floor, and we can vote on it next Tuesday, Wednesday, after it's went through a full vetting. And then we can feel good about the vote that we take. Because right now, when I'm seeing stuff like this put in the paper, whether I support it or don't support it, seeing all the things, all the rumors before even these articles were put out, it's a shame that we skipped steps, that we skipped a very big step in the process because we're dealing with this short session and trying to run a policy bill through here that is too big. This is something that is very important that we get right because we have small business owners that this is going to affect. It's not a hypothetical, it's reality. We heard them in our committee testifying one after another, saying how it would hurt them. We had government agencies coming in testifying how this is going to affect them, how much it's going to cost them. Now, when you get into the metro area, maybe it doesn't mean as much. But when you're in a rural community, we don't have the money. These are things that affect us and hurt the very people that are depending on the services that we provide. We saw on this floor, ERDC. You get $1,222 for a child in Portland.
Representative, to the motion. Continue to speak to the motion, please.
To the motion and why we should send this back to Ways and Means is to equal some of those differences out, because we're going to have shortcomings in other pieces of our government. Our counties, our cities are going to see increased cost, and we need to evaluate this thoroughly. Colleagues, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of serving in a house that has a cloud of corruption over it. Let's do this right. Let's serve the citizens of Oregon and send this to Ways and Means. Let them do their due diligence and then bring it back to this floor so we can vote on it with an honest conscience and not have these news stories clouding our judgment, just like with the pounding and the beating on the walls, threatening to vote. I mean, these are things that change our emotions here on the floor and what we should do, and it takes it out of our mind, our regular common sense.
Representative, to the motion, please.
And judgment to make the right decision on this bill that we are debating today, Madam Speaker.
There's time in the other discussion to continue this. To the motion, Representative.
So, to this motion, I urge every one of you to vote yes and send this to Ways and Means so we can get it right and then bring it back here and debate it on the floor when it has a full policy review and we know the true cost to government. Thank you, Madam Speaker.